Hey guys, so I've got another video here and I'm just going to make clear in the beginning that the purpose of these videos are to help myself work through a lot of the aspects and healing that I'm going through currently right now. I know that a lot of these energies and emotions are felt at a collective level, so I am using this as a tool through my discomfort in making videos to express and share what I'm personally working on and working through. And if in return that is something that you also are working through and that these videos help you in any way, I am very grateful for that. The intention in this is to help, but my awareness right now is recognizing the fact that I still have a lot of work I need to do within myself before I can go out and put effort into helping others. I believe that as we each help ourselves and work on removing the own speck in our own eye and our own judgments and our own insecurities, the more that we clear those and work through those, the more that we are actually able and open to help other people just by being ourselves and by being true to who we are. And on that note, I'm going to read a quote that is very powerful to me. It's a lot of what I'm personally dealing with and going through. A lot of people are all about the spotlight and wanting the spotlight and wanting attention, and I've most of my life been the person to sit on the sidelines and sit against the wall in school and like hope that nobody picked me for things because I was not wanting to interact or have to open up and be myself, because I really didn't know what that was, and I didn't know how to interact with people on a healthy level, and that brought a lot of suppression through the 30 I'm 31 now, so through most of my life. So this is a quote by Marianne Williamson, and it says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others." And I'll just show you that. Oh. That's one that I've had to read a couple times, a lot of times actually, and it's really digesting that to the fact that like you always want to sit on the side, you think that sitting on the sidelines is good, and like sitting back and letting other people do the things that you want to do is being helpful and being loving or whatever, like, but really that all stems down from something within us that is afraid of being seen, and that all comes down to a lot of the different layers of shadow work. And like I personally am going through a lot of clearing away of guilt and feeling bad about feeling good. Like I understand that now my awareness understands that everything in our lives happens for a reason. Our families, our situations, our circumstances all happen to help build and mold and develop us into the character and person that we're here to be. So, with that being said, I am not here to put blame on any person, place, thing, or experience that I've had in my life. I'm here to bring awareness to the marks that those experiences have left behind, because those experiences cause inner programming to happen when we're raised a certain way around certain energies or certain situations. As a young child, you don't know how to process those situations or circumstances or words the way that you would as an adult. And a lot of adults don't know how to process that either, because of the programming that has taken place at a younger age to develop and determine the inner critic, the inner voice. As I was journaling this morning and like really listening to myself, I'm starting a 30-day yoga practice again, and I created a little chat. So if anybody wants to be a part of that, like I can add you to that. But I've been one to like, I want to do all these things. I jump up and I want to do all these, like I even have a YouTube thing where I was wanting to do a video every day and I didn't do it. So it's like all these things that I want to do that I don't really finish them. And this is a challenge for me to like, again, I'm stepping out and going to do this because I'm at a place now where I know that I need this structure and discipline, and I know the benefits that come from it. It's just me in duality, dueling my inner self and that voice that I thought was my character of weakness and inability to move forward is actually just the result of situations, circumstances that have happened throughout my life growing up and what it has shifted on for me and how I hear and interact it. So when you activate your observer and you activate that part of you that begins to recognize these voices and to see that like you're not those voices, the more that you practice the Ho'oponopono and like I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, the more that you do that and you come into that standing presence of like, okay, I'm here, I'm choosing to say this, I'm choosing to do this practice, this mantra, this meditation, whatever, the more that you're gonna get to remember that being and see that that being, that spirit, that energy is limitless and abundant and free and love, and without these scars it's whole. As I was journaling earlier, I had like the realization of like, is it really for our benefit to call parts of ourselves our shadow? And like really analyzing that and like looking at that, like what does that mean to you? When I mean, and I know this is like a huge thing, like psychiatry has been built on this and a whole bunch of stuff, but like when you really think about it, like what do you feel when you talk about your shadow? Like for me, I feel pushed away and like shut down, like you try to close that part of you off. It's your shadow. A shadow is seen as something dark or scary, like when we're a kid, like you get afraid of shadows or you like make up shadows or like play with whatever. So recognizing that instantly is like, okay, if I am communicating with myself as these parts of me being a shadow, that in turn is generalizing those parts of you and putting them in a box. So we're categorizing our aspects of ourselves, or we're putting these parts of ourselves in categories and boxes. And when we're doing that, essentially creating judgment, because if you think of the shadow, is that something that you're gonna get like, ooh, excited about? I'm happy. But that's what we're doing, is we're coming into alignment and merging with the shadow and recognizing that the shadow is just the part of you that the shadow. So the shadow is, as I'm like doing my practice this morning, this voice in my head is telling me like, you're tired, your body hurts, you don't want to do this, you're not going to be able to do this, you're going to start another challenge and fail. So as I'm doing my practice, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, this whole time these like voices are going off in my head and I'm hearing these things, but I'm initiating the observer and I'm observing that they're happening. So because I initiated the observer and I'm observing that they're happening, I'm able to show compassion and I'm able to question this voice. So now, when there's one, then there's two. So now I'm communicating with this aspect of myself, because it's all an aspect of ourselves. And the minute that we categorize and shut down and name these parts of ourselves is the time that like we create even more of a separation from them being whole within us. Like, you have duality and we live in the third dimension where these things exist, but like if you look at the yin yang and you see that like it's both, it's the light and the dark, and within each aspect is another circle, that it's the cycle of everything. And if you zoom out of the yin yang, you see that it's all encompassed within one whole circle. And if we could begin to zoom out and see that, like, yes, I have these aspects of myself that I don't like and that are bringing me down and holding me back. But when you zoom out and you see that they're all you and you are whole and you are one and it is a part of you that just needs to be recognized, that's why it's coming up. It's coming up because it didn't have the recognition that it needed to heal after or during these events happened that caused it to feel like this. Like, that's not having support, whether you're never taught how to have support for yourself or confidence in yourself. That should be the number one thing that we teach our children, is how to fully be confident in yourself and how to be able to feel and express your feelings and emotions, and how to allow yourself to love yourself even if you're angry or even if you're in a place of discomfort, to be able to sit with your feelings and feel what you're feeling and recognize that it's okay. It's okay to feel these things. And when we separate them and push them off, that's when we're, again, creating that separation and not finding the core voice and recognizing that core voice, because that core voice is you. That core voice that was telling me, you can't do this, you're not strong enough, you're feeling tired, like, that voice was me, because internally I am scared of success. I am working through a process right now where I am scared of stepping into my power, taking responsibility of my thoughts, actions, and expressions, and actually stepping into the person that I know I can be. Why? Because I have a fear of failure. I have a fear of things going bad. As soon as something seems to be going good, that means that it's a sign that something's going to go bad. These are all programmed, triggered, subconscious emotions that happen on play. It's not anything that I'm doing. I'm not intentfully telling myself, you suck. Like, these are things that are within me because I spent most of my life in that state. I was super depressed and just miserable. I was not a fun person to be around, and to like go from where I was at and to see how quickly really I've shifted into this different way of being. Like, I recognize that I've not been giving myself enough compassion and seeing that shadow as separate, when really it is me. It is all of me. It is all me. It is all you as well. And recognizing that a lot of this is a collective experience that's happening right now, recognizing that like these energies are just moving through us, and the more we're grounded and in our heart space, the more that we're able to initiate the observer and recognize and just allow them to move through us. The more that we take deep breaths, like and just listen. Listen to the birds. Listen to the silence. Listen to your breath. Know that you are whole and you are worthy, and everything is as it's supposed to be. So when we find the why behind the voice, we can then nurture that voice and that aspect of ourselves. When we take responsibility, we can stand up comfortably in failure if that's where we're at, because that is the best that we're doing in that moment. Yes, dear. In a minute, okay? Losing the fear of failure, being able to be wrong and accept yourself for being wrong, and to learn and to constantly grow, because this is a journey and we're all in different places of our journey, and we all are helping each other grow. Whether we're being the asshole to somebody or somebody's being the asshole to us, doesn't really matter. We're all on a journey, and it's all our responses and reactions of how we respond to situations that determine where energetically we're going to be at and how we're going to feel. And if you feel angry, allow yourself to feel angry. Find that part of you that was angry. What is in you? Because if that's in you, that means that, okay, that seed is in you. That seed was planted at some time, and if you can begin to nurture it and water it and see, okay, where did this anger originally stem from? Why do I still have this anger come up when these triggers happen? Recognizing that we are human and we are instilled with these energies, but it's our ability to create that gap and that separation of observer and emotion and energy, and to begin to pause and be like, I feel this anger and I'm just gonna let it move through me. I'm not gonna respond. I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna show it love, and I'm gonna show myself love, and I'm gonna breathe, and I'm gonna allow it to just move through me. And allowing yourself to be, regardless of what you feel from other people. I know if you're a sensitive person to energies, you can feel when somebody is being judgmental, or like you could feel other energies in the room. Tuning into that, recognizing your sensitivity, and allowing yourself to move through it. Like, how can I move out, escape from this duality aspect? Because even if you are feeling a certain thing from a room, you're still placing judgment on that situation, and there's still an aspect of yourself that is able to recognize the imbalance of the energies or the environment, and to really, that's part of the Ho'oponopono too, is like taking responsibility. Yeah, you can have that, it's fine. No, just that.
Is this?
Yep.
Not even petals with it?
Nope.
Well, I always do.
Just taking responsibility for whatever comes up. Like, loving that and feeling that, and what is it in me that's causing this externally to be in my awareness and be in my energy, and to continually go in and check in with yourself and go back to that freedom, that free spirit of a child where you don't have those judgments and you're open and loving and connected to others and you don't have those fears. Healing those aspects to come back to that place is our only chance of freedom. And it can be challenging and it can be scary and it can be uncomfortable. But it all comes down to us recognizing that we have to take responsibility for what's coming up. And doing that, and then just allowing yourself to be human and feel and move through it. Disidentify it from the shadow and integrate it within your soul, and integrate those lower aspects of yourself back into oneness within your heart, and the understanding of why they're there, what triggers them, loving yourself, loving yourself, loving yourself, loving whatever comes up, communicating with yourself. The more that you initiate the observer, the more you will see, and the more light you can shine to those dark places, and the more wholeness that will come, and the more peace that will come. That's all I got. Love you guys. I will see you again soon.